players into the round of 8, to the quarterfinals. So we're nearing the end of the tournament. Still have a while to go. But, okay, guys, looks like we're ready. So this, guys, is game number 2 of this set between Steelseries and SudoPanda. Let me just make sure I have this right. Yes, Steelseries saying he lost to SudoPanda once. So here at the 9 o'clock position, on Lost Temple is our red Zerg player, currently down 1-0 to his opponent. He is Steelseries. His opponent here at the 12 o'clock position is up 1-0. He is our green Terran player. He is SudoPanda. So SudoPanda versus Steelseries. Would like to check and see what these guys main. SudoPanda only 1 game away from advancing to the next round of the tournament. Now, once again, we are close positions. That means that there's a very short walk distance between the two bases. So expect a very rush-oriented play out of our players. SudoPanda dropping down his supply depot at the front of his wall. Or front of his ramp, I guess I should say. Putting in a wall. And Steelseries is just droning up for the time being. See if he goes after that early hatch, which I would think he would not. Of course, a lot of Zerg players don't really care for this map because of this cliff line right here. Zergs love to fast expand. Of course, more expansions means more production capability for a Zerg. So they like to fast expand. The most natural place is this natural expansion. But a lot of Terran players then will consequently drop some Siege Tanks or Thors here onto the high ground and absolutely deny that expansion. So Steelseries is going after a pool and a hatch inside of his... a pool and an extractor inside of his base, inside of his main to begin with, putting up that spawning pool slightly before the extractor. SudoPanda going after gas, so he's not going to do any sort of cheesy 2-racks bunker play. First barracks is finished. And we will be seeing an orbital command here very soon. Seems like he's a little bit behind in terms of resources. Is he putting down a proxy structure? Ah, he put down the supply depot. Why a supply depot? Most players will put down an engineering bay there. The reason is that the engineering bay just gets built so freaking quick. Reactor on the way for SudoPanda right now. Yes, finally morphing in that orbital command. Another supply depot coming up for SudoPanda in his base. No Marines have come up yet. See if he decides to go after a very quick factory. No, going straight after a second barracks. Huh. Interesting build coming out. Looks like he may be going into a mass Marine build, but I don't know. Well, I can't honestly say I've seen this particular build in the past. So Zerglings being sent out now to the Zelnaga Tower. They are a-clicked here up to the top, just to see if anything is around. Expansion now coming down for Steelseries. He is putting up Zergling speed. Units tab shows us Steelseries is behind in terms of workers, however. And, oh my god! Steelseries is going to get right into Pseudo's... Oh, SudoPanda is going to lose a couple of SCVs there. At the very least, lose a good bit of timing. Or a good bit of mining, I guess I should say. The Zerglings do go down, but SudoPanda was forced off his mining for quite a while. Another bunch of Zerglings coming up right now for Steelseries. But he really needs to drone up. Finally doing so. That hatchery is about halfway done. And he'll have his next expansion up here soon. So another reactor coming down for SudoPanda. No upgrades whatsoever. He has been mining gas this entire time, but it purely seems for add-ons. Alright. An odd build, but who am I to argue? So, multiple Marines now coming out of both of those barracks. Yeah, SudoPanda doing a nice job also to make sure he's not going to be supply blocked. But here come the Speedlings! They are going to encounter a ton of Marines, though. They're trying to get by, but not really going to be able to have that luxury. Few Zerglings go down. I think 3 or 4 immediately bit the dust. SudoPanda is going to have a stupid number of units pretty soon, but he really needs to pull himself off of this gas mining for a while, though, unless he wants to put up some very serious upgrades here. But it doesn't look like he's going to do that. There we have, okay, factory coming up, utilizing a little bit of the gas. And SudoPanda only putting up 1 Marine at a time. Another 10 Zerglings coming up for Steelseries, though. He's about to finish his baling nest. He's going to try to bust right up that ramp. SudoPanda moving out, though, with his number of Marines. How many Marines in this group? 15. How many Zerglings here? 24, but there's a few Banelings as well. The units passing each other. SudoPanda waiting until his Banelings are done. Hope to God he's not going for a base trade. He had to have seen this. Whoa! Just wasted a Baneling there. SudoPanda doing some damage to the hatchery. The hatchery down 1/3 of its health already, almost down half of its health. Here come the Zerglings, though, and the Banelings not even really needed to be used. The rest of the units going down. Steelseries now way up in terms of army. But he is back still in terms of economy. And unless he's going to all in here, he's really going to need to get up some more drones to prepare himself for the mid-game. So Steelseries moving up at this point. There's only a couple of Marines out. Damage being done to all these barracks, but here come the Banelings. The Banelings going to move in, immediately busting themselves on the supply depot. A few SCVs being brought in, but the supply depot is going to fall. 20 health, 10 health, 0 health. There it goes. Zerglings being brought in. And I don't know if SudoPanda has enough to combat this. For some reason, those Zerglings were just kind of running themselves into a wall of Marines, but it's still too much. And SudoPanda is going to GG, so Steelseries does take game number 2 of this set. This best of 3 here at the Zeke Random Race Tournament number 3. So let's take a look at both these players' ratings, as I was attempting to do before. So Steelseries is Masters. Wow, after not that many games. So 1,300 Masters. Did not take him a lot of games to get to that point. Let's take a look at SudoPanda's profile. And of course, guys, if you have enjoyed the content, please check out youtube.com/user/catspajamas SC2. So SudoPanda is a 1,700 rated Masters player. Both of these players with a lot of bonus pool. And I'm letting them know good luck, have fun. Hopefully we'll be ready to rock and roll here. Okay, and the match is started now. We are going to be playing on Metalopolis, another random versus random. So, match it coming now. Both these players, nice high-level Masters players. And, of course, like I said, haven't played a lot of matches, a lot of league matches, I guess I should say. So, Steelseries is once again spawning here as our red... Oh, I'm sorry, I've got to do this as a GSL intro. Here, at the 12 o'clock position on Metalopolis in this rubber match of the best of 3 set here. Round of 16 at the Zeke Random Race Tournament. We have... Steelseries. His opponent here at the 3 o'clock position. Now spawning as our green, a Protoss player is... SudoPanda. So SudoPanda versus Steelseries. Now we are close positions by air, but still long positions by ground, as this nice Overlord is demonstrating for us. This little chasm in between both the bases can only be crossed by air units. Thus, I would expect if this game goes past a couple of attacks, to probably see some Mutalisk play out of Steelseries. He does see his opponent, I believe. Yes, he needs to get that Overlord away now. Surprised he's not just backing that straight up into the little crevasse there. SudoPanda is currently boosting out some probes at this point while he puts up his pylon and soon to be gateway. Fader says he can sound like the Korean dude who says the GSL names. I may have to have someone do something like that. Steelseries, SudoPanda. That is the worst Korean impression I've ever done. Guys, please do not call me a racist. So Assimilator is coming online now for SudoPanda as well, going for a very, very standard build at this point. Steelseries, even though he knows that they are pretty long distance by ground, not going to fast expand, super fast expand, going for his spawning pool first, and an extractor right after that. Oh, I'm not saving this as a FOD beefy noodle, so we're good to go. We're in the clear. Steelseries running out with his overlords at this point, just taking some map control. And no second gateway, just straight into a cybernetics core. So again, everything really, really standard for SudoPanda. Needs to get himself up another pylon here in a second. Be kind of cool if he snuck this probe around and dropped one at the back of his opponent's base. Steelseries now putting up a couple of Zerglings and a Queen. 2 sets of Zerglings now. And this probe just kind of sitting back there. May actually be able to very well drop down that proxy pylon once this warp gate technology finishes. Some more probes coming out. This probe's still sitting there, just waiting. Overlord sitting there and scanning this spot because, of course, behind these gas vents, if you don't directly have a unit on the other side of the gas vents, you do not have vision of that area. So it's a great place for a lot of units to, or a lot of players to drop down proxy structures there. So the Zerglings moving their way out. Zergling speed not done yet. SudoPanda going for a complete wall, I think. 2 more gateways coming up, so this is going to be a 4-gate build. I really think he's going to use that probe. Steelseries does see the complete wall. There's 1 Zealot coming up to go ahead and deal with these Zerglings. That pylon's actually going to absorb quite a bit of damage before then. Yeah, I think SudoPanda realizes this, putting up another pylon at this time. That pylon may go down! This Zealot's only about 3 seconds away from being done, though. Here he did. Oh, God! He was rallied behind the base, and now all 3 of those structures are unpowered. So another pylon coming up. Another pylon is being queued up as well and needs to turn these into warp gates. He does have that proxy pylon down at his opponent's base. He's going to need to bring in something. He's only got a couple of gates powered. Hopefully that gateway can bring in a unit. There we have the Zealots being brought out. This warp gate is actually still up with only 60 health left on it. The Zealots standing in there and clearing up most of the Zerglings. But those Zealots are going to fall. And now the Zerglings have access to SudoPanda's base. SudoPanda's going to have to pull all of his probes at the moment. But the Zerglings should probably just run back and take out that warp gate. Indeed they are. No, take down the warp gate. It's only got 60 health. Give yourself better access to the base. But the Zealot's going down in pretty quick order. Zerglings need to come back. God, it's only 50 health now. 30 health. Ah, I should have done it before. And SudoPanda is going to get himself surrounded by a bunch of Zerglings now. Those Zealots, of course, are pretty cost-effective against Zerglings, but not against that many. And please, for the love of all that is holy, take down that warp gate! Ah! Frustrating. Ooh, Zealot here for SudoPanda in his opponent's base, though. Looks like he's going to be committed to a pretty big attack here. Zealots are standing there. Going to be able to take out a number of those Zerglings. Yeah, and here we have the Zealots in his opponent's base. Steelseries going to lose his Queen pretty quickly. Bringing up a Roach one at this time, but the Queen running away. He's going to need to bring back some Zerglings to go ahead and clear up those Zealots. Another pylon coming down for SudoPanda. Now, there are a good number of Zerglings that are left, but SudoPanda is actually doing a pretty fair job of holding this off. So SudoPanda, this is kind of a weird back and forth here. Forge coming up as well. Guess he was going to want to drop down a couple of photon cannons here around the back. This is just bizarre. More units being warped in. SudoPanda going to bring in some more Zealots here. There are some Zerglings that are going to check out this position, but the Zealots are already there, taking out those Zerglings very quickly. Another Zealot being warped in. Smartly, these Zerglings pulling back to these Roaches that are about ready to pop. And here comes the rest of the Zerglings. Finally going to take down that warp gate, down to 10 health, 0. So now the Zerglings are going to be able to just make their way in. The Zealot, not with a lot of health left on it. And SudoPanda is going to need to get a surround on the Zealots. There he goes. One Zealot goes down, a second going to go down here in just 1 second. Photon cannon going down for SudoPanda, but that's going to get taken out here. The photon cannon will come up in 5 seconds, but here are the rest of the Zerglings. Got to move into the economy line. SudoPanda going to lose a bunch of probes. Look how quickly these are just melting. They are standing in there, but SudoPanda does GG, so Steel